Hello YouTube viewers and Transformers fans of all ages, this is the TFN Geek, and the year 2017 will be over in less than 48 hours, so I decided to do a countdown of my top favorite Transformers toys that I purchased throughout this year. Now it was originally going to be a top 10, but there were so many amazing Transformers toys I picked up this year, I ultimately ended up making it a top 15, so here's the top 15 Transformers toys I purchased throughout the year. Now, there's several factors I take into consideration when I rank Transformers toys, for being my most favorite, worst being on the bottom, and then the best being at the top of the list, number 1. Some of the factors include availability of the toy, if it was sold at mass retail or if it was an exclusive, the size of the toy, not so much for what size class the toy belongs to, but if the Transformers character was given the size class of Transformers toy that it truly deserved, or if the toy could have been bigger or smaller. And then the most important factor with ranking my favorite Transformers toys, which kind of helps determine, or is determined by the other factors I just mentioned, the price of the Transformers toy when I purchase it, if I can get it at retail value or if I have to pay more than retail value, and if the value is a certain amount, because I'm always on a tight budget when it comes to purchasing Transformers toys. So let's get to showing them off, shall we? Now before I start naming off the Transformers toys, a majority of them are from the Transformers Titans Return toy line, but I am going to include some toys that I personally bought this year for the first time. Some of them were released in previous years, some of them weren't released in the Titans Return toy line. So this is my own personal list. It's not the generally accepted list that most Transformers fans will agree on, so let me know in the comment section if you agree with my ranking of the Transformers toys I'm about to show off for you. So to start off the list here at number 15 of my most favorite Transformers toys that I got this year, in the year 2017, is Transformers Universe Deluxe Class Dinobot. Now I will acknowledge that Dinobot was released 8 years ago in 2009, and next year it'll be 9 years since Dinobot's been released in 2018. But when Dinobot first came out, I wasn't a fan of Beast Wars, and just this past month of December of 2017, I decided to end the year by watching the Transformers Beast Wars cartoon, and I agree with everyone who says that Beast Wars is the second all-time greatest Transformers cartoon after Generation 1. It only took me watching Beast Wars one time to instantly become a fan of Beast Wars Transformers characters, so here's hoping Hasbro decides, besides Optimus Primal, to release more Beast Wars characters in the Transformers Power of the Primes toy line. So yes, there is Universe Dinobot. I got him as a Christmas present, and he's number 15 because he's a very old Transformers toy, and if you find Dinobot these days, you'll probably end up buying him at the same place that I begged a family member to get him for me for Christmas, which was eBay, used, not in a box, and more than his original retail value was. Now number 14 might surprise some people, but I decided to give the number 14 spot to the Titans Return Deluxe Class toy of Croc. Now I was really amazed with how well Hasbro was able to design and make Croc mold mates with Skull Cruncher / Skull Smasher. But what's really unique about Croc is that in the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon, he was an Action Master, and he didn't actually possess a vehicle mode. So this is the first time Croc has been given a vehicle mode, and I gotta say, his paint job is one of the reasons why I've grown to like him, even though to this day Croc is a more obscure Transformers character, and in fact, only to the G1 Action Master and this right here, the Titans Return Deluxe Class version, those are the only two toys of Croc that have been sold at mass retail. I think there was a version of Croc that was released by the Transformers Collectors Club, but counting only Transformers figures that were available at mass retail, this is one of only 2 toys. But yeah, his paint job of mostly black with purple and bright neon yellow, it screams 1990s for me, and since I was born in the year 1990, this is a throwback to my childhood, seeing a Transformers toy with this many bright colors on it. So yes, Croc made number 14 on the list. Number 13 is the only Transformers toy that was exclusively sold by Takara Tomy. Deluxe Class Nightbird. I decided to get Nightbird because even though this is not the first toy of Nightbird released, it remains the only toy of Nightbird that's been sold at general retail. And even though it's a Takara Tomy exclusive, and its mold mates with Generations RC, with the only difference being a different head sculpt and additional weapons of these ninja scythes. I've always liked Nightbird enough as a Transformers character that I was inspired to get this toy. So for number 13, there is Nightbird. For number 12, I decided to go with Gnaw / the Sharkticons. This is one of my personal all-time favorite Legends Class toys released in the Titans Return toy line, because there's potential, just like the G1 toys, to army build Gnaw into the Sharkticons. Because in the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon, the Sharkticons, to my knowledge, they didn't have individual personalities, and Gnaw was only fleshed out in the Transformers Generation 1 toy line and in the comic books as being the only Sharkticon to have an individual personality to him. But the reason why Gnaw is so far down on the list is because a lot of Transformers fans have said that it would have been a more G1 accurate toy if Gnaw / the Sharkticons had been given a Deluxe Class toy instead of a Legends Class toy. So unfortunately, Gnaw fell short on his size accuracy compared to his G1 toy. For me personally, I think if Transformers toys are smaller and the original ones, the Generations toys, by that is what I mean. If the Generations toys are smaller than the original toys, I generally don't consider it much of an updated toy compared to the original if it's smaller. Even though updated technology is smaller than older technology, it's not always. I don't think it should be the case with Transformers toys and action figures. Now, let's see. I lost count for a second. Here, Gnaw was 15 for it. Oh yeah, Gnaw was number 12. Now, a lot of people disagree with me on this one and probably say that it should be higher on the list, but the number 11 spot, not for me, is Sea Spray. Now, I know Sea Spray probably deserves to be higher on the list, but after looking at all the other Transformers toys that I purchased this year, Sea Spray unfortunately didn't quite fit as high on the list as they did it for me. Now, unfortunately, even though Sea Spray was a unique Transformers character in his own right, partially because when he spoke, Sea Spray spoke as though he had water in his mouth, gurgling around in his mouth, and he had a unique speech pattern, and Sea Spray became an organic life form in the one episode of Transformers Generation 1 that concentrated on him. But unfortunately for me, the main reason I got Sea Spray was just to complete my collection of Legends Class mini-bots in the Generations toy line, and that's why I'm kind of glad that Hasbro did release a Legends Class size of Sea Spray. But unfortunately, Sea Spray wasn't shown as often as some of the other mini-bots during Season 2 of the Transformers G1 cartoon, so let me know if you put Sea Spray higher on your personal favorite Transformers toys list of 2017. And with those Transformers toys out of the way, we now move on to the top 10. Now, the number 10 spot took me quite a while to consider, but I eventually had to give it to the big guy of 2017, who isn't even fitting on my camera because his box is so huge. I have to move the camera back to try and get his box into full frame. But for the number 10 spot, I decided to give it to Titans Return Titan Class Trypticon. Now, the reason why I didn't put Trypticon on higher on the list than number 10 is because of his retail price tag of $150 and the fact that just like every other Titan Class Transformers toy, the only store that Trypticon has physically appeared in was Toys R Us, and in the last few years compared to Walmart, Target, even Kmart, and other stores that sell Transformers toys, Toys R Us has gotten to be one of the most expensive stores that Transformers toys are sold at. But that doesn't mean that I don't like Trypticon. He's one of my personal favorite Transformers toys, and in fact, Trypticon has become the largest Decepticon transformer in my entire Transformers collection, and the only Transformer that rivals Trypticon in size is the other Titan-class Transformers toy sold in the Titans Return toy line, Fortress Maximus. Now, since I got Fortress Maximus last year in 2016 when he was released for the first time, he will not be appearing on his list, but something of his will be appearing next. And in case anyone was wondering why I brought out Trypticon inside his box, unfortunately I don't have any shelving space in my room big enough for Trypticon, so I did take him out of his box, I did transform him, I applied all of his stickers, but unfortunately his box is the best place to keep him stored in right now. Now this video is already getting lengthier than I wanted to be, so I'll try and wrap things up. A moment ago I said Fortress Maximus wasn't going to be on this list, but two of his weapons are. For number 9, it's a tie between two of my favorite third-party Transformers toys that I purchased this year, which are Perfect Effects PC-13 and PC-14. These two third-party upgrade kits are weapons that are designed for Fortress Maximus. PC-13 is the Titan Sword, which is Perfect Effects' take on the Master Sword, and PC-14 is called the Titan's Cannon. It's Fortress Maximus' own laser gun, and the PC-14 laser gun, I did my own personal video on it, so you can watch that for all the details. And for PC-13, for the Master Sword, it is more detailed than the official sword that was designed by Takara Tomy, and unfortunately the only version of Fortress Maximus that did not come with the Master Sword weapon was the one that Hasbro released at mass retail here in the United States. So, out of all the third-party upgrade kits basically out of all the upgrade kits that Perfect Effect released, at least for the Transformers Generations toy line, out of all the upgrade kits, these two are the ones that I believe are must-haves for your Transformers collection. For number 7 on the list, I decided to make it a tie between Six-Shot and his mold mate, Quick Switch. Now, I do have Six-Shot, and no, he's not inside his box. I did take him out, but unfortunately Six-Shot is buried at the back of one of my shelves, and I didn't want to go through the hassle of removing all the Transformers toys that were in his way or blocking his way. But just to give an idea of how big Six-Shot is when he's transformed into his spaceship mode, here is Quick Switch from the Toys R Us exclusive Chaos on Velocitron box set. And between the two of them, paint-wise, my favorite would have to be Six-Shot. And unfortunately, Quick Switch, even though he is a unique Transformers character in his own right, and I actually did a quick origin video on Quick Switch here on my channel, and in my opinion, if I had to name either one of these toys to purchase first, it would be Six-Shot first and then Quick Switch second. But the reason why I decided to tie the both of them together was not only because they're mold mates, but out of all the 6 Leader class toys that Hasbro released in the Titans Return toy line, Six-Shot was the one that stayed on the shelves the shortest amount of time, and because of Six-Shot's availability, even though he was sold at mass retail, I've seen quite a few Transformers fans say that they found Quick Switch first before they managed to obtain Six-Shot. So unfortunately, as far as owning either of these two multi-changing vehicle mode Transformers toys, your options for getting either one of them are about equal, so that's why they take the number 7 spot on my list. My sincerest apologies, I just realized that I kept calling Six-Shot and Quick Switch in the number 7 spot. They were actually in the number 8 spot, so here in the correct number 7 spot, zooming in on him, just my camera. For the number 7 spot, the official number 7 spot, not number 8, which was the previous toys, here is Titans Return Legends Class Brawn. When Hasbro announced that Legends Class Brawn was going to be made reality and actually exist, Transformers fans went nuts. Everyone thought because Brawn had already been given an individual Titan Master that Hasbro was not going to give him another Transformers toy of a different size class in the same toy line, and so Transformers toys that had been giving 2 toys in the Transformers Generations toy toy line. A lot of people have been calling it the Brawn treatment, where they get a more kind of lackluster Transformers toy, and then the second toy, which is the toy of the character Transformers fans really want to have, is released second. So that is a trend that started with Legends Class Brawn. The main reason I decided to get Legends Brawn was the same reason I got Seaspray, to complete my cast of mini-bots from one of the 4 seasons of the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon, even though there weren't any mini-bots in Season 4. Out of all the Legends Class Transformers toys, I said at the start of the video that Gnaw was one of my favorites. Brawn is my absolute favorite Legends Class toy from the Titans Return toy line. If there was a Legends Class Transformers toy from the Titans Return toy line to add to your Transformers collection, I would definitely recommend, without any doubt, get Legends Class Brawn. Now for the number 6 spot, I'm on track again with my countdown of my best Transformers toys and my favorite ones that I purchased this year in 2017. It's actually a 3-way tie, the Transformers toys I picked for number 6, because, well, they're mold mates with each other is the main reason, but each one of them is vastly unique and special in their own rights. But not special or unique enough that I figure they deserve separate spots on my countdown list. So for the number 6 spot, all the Transformers toys I'm bringing out, I'm going to keep transformed in their vehicle mode. I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier in the video, but don't expect to see any robot mode Transformers throughout this video. But for number 6, I decided to choose not just Trigger Happy, but the 2 Decepticon Target Masters that he is old mates with, Misfire and Slug Slinger. Now, with the release of these 3 Transformers toys, all 5 of the Transformers Generation 1 Target Masters that appeared in the American version of Season 4 of the Transformers G1 cartoon titled The Rebirth, they've all been given deluxe class toys by Hasbro. Scourge was given a deluxe toy in the Titans Return toy line in Wave 1, and Cyclonus was given a deluxe class toy back in the Universe toy line in 2009, where Dinobot, the first toy I showed off, came from. So, yes, out of all the deluxe class Transformers toys in the Titans Return toy line that turn into jets, a lot of my fellow Transformers fans have said that Trigger Happy was one of the best ones, and Misfire was kind of okay, not as cool as Trigger Happy, but decent enough that he looks like the G1 character. And then a lot of Transformers fans have said that out of all the deluxe class toys in the Titans Return toy line, that especially the ones that were Decepticons, Slug Slinger was the best one out of all of them. Now, in my personal opinion, which of these 3 is my most favorite, I'd have to give it to Slug Slinger. Trigger Happy is a very close number 2, and then Misfire is number 3. A lot of people put Trigger Happy first since he's the original, and then Slug Slinger second, and Misfire 3. And on that note, considering the fact that Misfire is, by most Transformers fans, considered their least favorite of these 3 Decepticons, I think Misfire is pretty amazing looking, and he's also unique because how many Transformers characters have magenta as the primary paint job? I don't know of any other ones besides Misfire, so kudos to both Hasbro and Takara Tomy for successfully designing updated toys of the G1 Target Masters as headmasters in the Titans Return toy line. Alright, and we have arrived at the top 5 on my list of favorite Transformers toys purchased throughout the year 2017. So for the number 5 spot, I decided to give it to Octane, or Octone, which is his name on the box. And Octane is my personal all-time favorite of the 3 G1 Decepticon triple changers. A lot of Transformers fans have listed Blitzwing as their favorite, others have listed Astro Train, but for me, Octane is my all-time favorite because of how ruthless and sinister he was, and the fact that he managed to actually trick Trypticon into following him over Galvatron in one episode. If I remember, that's how it went correctly. Octane, even though he did not appear until Season 3 after the other G1 Decepticon triple changers had appeared way back at the beginning of Season 2, Octane very quickly managed to prove himself a evil enough of Decepticon, especially compared to Blitzwing, who, in the G1 cartoon, Blitzwing actually turned his back on the Decepticons and gave up the Decepticon faction, and then Astro Train kind of faded off into obscurity after he was used as a background character at the start of Season 3, so Octane proved himself an evil enough of a Decepticon that he actually replaced both Blitzwing and Astro Train as being the primary Decepticon triple changer, and the main reason I decided to get Octane was because he was the last of all 6 of the Transformers characters that are officially recognized as being the quote-unquote triple changers of the G1 franchise by Transformers fans. And the others were, apart from Blitzwing and Astro Train, and who were the other Decepticons on the Autobot side, you had Springer, Sandstorm, and Broadside, who were released in that order. So yes, with Octane's release in the Titans Return toy line in the size of a Voyager-class Transformers toy, Hasbro released toys of all the G1 triple changers in the same size class of Transformers toy, and even though this version of Octane is a Headmaster, I am personally happy with it. Octane is my favorite of the 3 toys that he is mold mates with. The others are G2 Optimus Prime in G2 colors, which was released as an exclusive, and G2 Optimus Prime in a G1 styled paint job was the first use of the toy mold to be released. And my tongue is failing me right now, my voice is starting to give out on me, so moving the video right along. The number 4 spot I decided to give to the Transformers Tribute Optimus Prime Evolution 2-pack, which includes Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, a repaint of the Generations War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, which was the first ever toy released in the Transformers Generations toy line, and the toy that a lot of Transformers fans bought the 2-pack for, which is a brand new Deluxe Class toy of Orion Pax, which is a repaint of Titans Return Cup with a new face sculpt, and a paint job that matches Orion Pax's color scheme, I think, in IDW's comic books more than the G1 cartoon. But yes, the reason why this 2-pack made it so high on the list was because for a lot of Transformers fans, this was the first toy of Orion Pax that was mold mates with Cup that Hasbro released, not so much at mass retail, but a lot of Transformers fans were really excited to have a brand new Deluxe Class toy of Orion Pax because, as an individual character, Orion Pax being a pre-Autobot leader and pre-Bear Matrix of leadership holder, as an individual Transformers character, Orion Pax is surprisingly one of the Transformers characters who he only gets a new toy once in a blue moon, and in fact the first ever toy of Orion Pax that was released in the year 2003, so it's only been in the 21st century that, as an individual character, Orion Pax has been given a fully transforming Transformers toy. So yes, even though the Transformers Tribute 2-pack isn't actually a part of the Transformers Titans Return toy line because Orion Pax is a repaint of Cup with a different face sculpt being the only difference between the two, a lot of Transformers fans consider Orion Pax to be a Titans Return toy, and because Optimus Prime is a straight-up repaint of the War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Optimus Prime toy, which was released back in July of 2010. Yes, I am aware of the month and date when the year that the Transformers Generations toy line started. That is how much of a Transformers fan geek I am. So yes, I probably could have put some of the Transformers toys I've shown off already higher up on the list than these guys, but I just really enjoy the fact that this is the first time ever that Hasbro has released both Optimus Prime and Orion Pax in the same box, and Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime / Orion Pax will be the second one, which I hope to get next month when the year starts. So, the Transformers Tribute Evolution 2-pack of Optimus Prime and Orion Pax has the number 4 spot on my list. For the number 3 spot on my list of favorite Transformers toys purchased this year it's a four-way tie between some of my personal favorite Legends Class toys released in the Titans Return toy line. I know I've said that about every Titans Return Legends Class Transformers toy I've shown off so far. But right after Brawn, who was number 1, and before Gnaw, who is number 3, my second favorite Legends Class toys released in the Titans Return toy line are the 4 Transformers clones. Now, unfortunately, the clones are probably higher on the list than they deserve to be. I decided to put them this high up on the list because the Transformers clones, they're inseparable, and because you can't sell one clone without the other clone for both the Autobots and the Decepticons, toys of them are pretty hard to come by, even with third-party Transformers companies. I think there's only one third-party toy of Fastlane and Cloudraker that exists that I'm aware of. I don't know of any third-party Transformers toy companies that have bothered to make Pounce and Wingspan. And I know Hasbro made toys of Pounce and Wingspan that were released at BotCon, which were repaints of the Transformers Prime Viacons. My apologies for coughing there. But yes, the clones are pretty unique because of their gimmick of having look-alike robot modes, but at the same time they have completely different looking vehicle modes. Now, a lot of Transformers fans probably won't agree that the clones deserve to be this high on this list because of availability of Hasbro's versions of the 4 Transformers clones. Pounce and Fastlane were sold inside the 2 Titans Return box sets, and unfortunately, because of the retail price of the 2 Transformers Titans Return box sets, Chaos on Velocitron, which had Fastlane, and Siege on Cybertron, which had Pounce, in order to get all 4 of Hasbro's versions of the 4 Titans Return Legends Class versions of the Transformers clones, you will have to pay, to get all 4 of them brand new mint condition in an unopened box, $220 at the least, and pick up an additional 8 Transformers toys that you may or may not want to add to your Transformers collection to get Fastlane and Pounce to go with Wingspan and Cloudraker. Now, apparently Hasbro was going to release 2 more box sets in the Titans Return toy line after the ones that Fastlane and Pounce came with that were sold. Tried to stand up Cloudraker, but he's not cooperating. But basically, there were going to be 2 more Titans Return box sets, which were to include Cloudraker and Wingspan as the Legends Class Transformers toys also. Now, the reason why none of the 4 Transformers toys are sold at mass retail is because Hasbro announced that apparently the 4 Transformers clones they're all slightly larger than other Legends Class Transformers toys that were released in the Titans Return toy line, and bringing back Gnaw for a split size comparison here. I did, after I purchased Fastlane, who was the first of the 4 Transformers clones, I did a size comparison with Fastlane compared to Brawn in both vehicle and robot mode, and if there is any size difference between the 4 clones and other Legends Class toys that were released in the Titans Return toy line, the size difference is about, I'd say, only 1, maybe 2 millimeters, 1 centimeter at the most, but yes, I honestly don't know why Hasbro couldn't have released the Transformers clones at mass retail, or why Hasbro hasn't bothered to release Fastlane and Pounce for a second time in another 2-pack the way they released Cloudraker and Wingspan in a 2-pack. There was a rumor for a while that Hasbro was going to release Fastlane and Pounce in a 2-pack that was going to be sold exclusively at Amazon.com, but unfortunately that rumor was started by the website RobotKingdom.com being the first website to upload a web page to buy Cloudraker and Wingspan, and in their haste to get the web page fully uploaded, they used stock photos of Fastlane and Pounce, who were technically released first, and unfortunately it appears that so far the word from Hasbro is that the only way to get the American versions of Fastlane and Pounce is to purchase the 2 Titans Return box sets. I do not have the entire Transformers Siege on Cybertron box set. I begged a relative to give me Pounce as one of my Christmas presents, and I purchased Pounce by himself from eBay.com. And unfortunately, the other toys sold in the Siege on Cybertron pack, the Titan Master of Thunderwing, Deluxe Metal Hawk Voyager Tidal Wave, and the Hasbro version of Jinrai, which is the Leader Class toy of Magnus Prime. I, unfortunately, at this point may never own them, so... Personally, I'm hoping that Hasbro announces that they're going to release Pounce and Fastlane in another 2 packs for Transformers fans who have been unsuccessful in getting either of the 2 Titans Return box sets, because having all 4 of the Transformers clones together, it's pretty amazing. But unfortunately, at this point, your best options of getting all 4 of the Transformers clones is to wait for Takara Tomy to release the Japanese versions of the clones, because the clones are going to be released in 2 packs by Takara Tomy the way they were released in the G1 toy line. Fastlane and Cloudraker will be in 1 2-pack, and then Pounce and Wingspan will be in another 2-pack. So yes, the number 3 spot goes to all 4 of the Transformers Titans Return clones. Now, the Transformers character who gets the number 2 spot on my list of favorite Transformers toys purchased this year, he came very close to getting the number 1 spot, but there was actually 2 more Transformers toys that beat him to the number 1 spot. But for number 2, and the other Transformers toys that beat this character were all Autobots, so even though he's number 2 on the entire list, he is my number 1 favorite Decepticon Transformers toy that I purchased this year. Titans Return Leader Class Overlord. So yes, Overlord was the big bad Decepticon leader who took over after Galvatron and Scorponok during the second half of Transformers Headmasters, and throughout the first half of Transformers Super God Master Force, I believe, was the time frame that Overlord was leader of the Decepticons in the extended Japanese Season 1, or series of episodes of the G1 cartoon. My mind is working faster than my tongue, so I'm wanting to say words, but they aren't coming out the way I want to. But yes, Overlord is my favorite Decepticon purchased for this year, even though he's mold mates with Titans Return Sky Shadow, aka Black Shadow. He is a pretty amazing Decepticon character. He has a pretty good transformation, and because he was sold at mass retail, he was available for quite a few people to purchase. Now, unfortunately, Overlord was one of the last Transformers toys to be released in the Titans Return toy line. Even though Overlord is officially a part of Wave 5 of the Titans Return toy line, a lot of Transformers fans ended up getting Overlord after they got Slugslinger, and Slugslinger is officially the solitary toy from Wave 6 of the Titans Return toy line, so unfortunately Overlord was released later than all of his Wave mates, and because Overlord was released at the tail end of the Titans Return toy line, tail end Transformers toys are infamous for not being widely sold or available because retail stores and toy stores want to move on from the previous toy line of Transformers onto the next one. But from what I've seen on the internet, quite a few people have been able to find Overlord. Apparently retailers were able to order the wave of Leader Class Titans Return Transformers toys that Overlord was a part of which Overlord is actually officially the solitary Leader Class Transformers toy released in the final wave of Leader Class toys in Titans Return. So as far as I'm aware of, Overlord has been available for everyone for quite a while now. And as all of you can see, I have Overlord transformed. I'm standing him propped up like I did all the other jet formers I've done on this video, but in my official lengthy video review of Overlord, I showed this off. This is my fan-made combined jet mode / rocket booster mode, where I just left Overlord's robot mode legs attached to the back of his jet. So yes, in case anyone wants, you can go watch my official video on Overlord, and I briefly showed how to transform him. It's pretty doable to get Overlord into this fan mode, but yes. Overlord made the number 2 spot on the entire list, and he is number 1 out of all the Decepticons, so... I was trying to say... Hey, so before we show off or get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Now, the first honorable mention might surprise everyone, but it's Transformers Universe Cheetor. I purchased Cheetor at the start of the month, and unfortunately, Cheetor is one of the Transformers characters who neither Hasbro nor Takara Tomy has made any announcement of Cheetor being given a new generation style toy or a deluxe class toy in the upcoming Transformers Generations Power of the Primes toy line, but it's just my luck after spending the amount of money I did getting Universe Cheetor that a brand new deluxe class toy of Cheetor will be coming out next year in 2018. But yes, for a vintage Transformers toy, there was Universe Cheetor. Another honorable mention is Titans Return Deluxe Class Jazz, which I'm hoping I will be able to take him out of his box and open him up tomorrow. Jazz will forever be the first Power of the Primes Transformers toy that I ever purchased. And for one last honorable mention, we have, of the 4 Legends class toys released in Wave 1 of the Power of the Primes toy line, we have the one that a lot of Transformers fans were looking forward to the most, Power of the Primes Legends class Beachcomber. Now, the main reason I got Beachcomber is because, like so many of the Transformers toys that have been released in the Generations toy line the last few years, Beachcomber is one of the Transformers characters who, he only gets a new toy once in a blue moon, same thing with his fellow Minibot Sea Spray. And the main reason I got Beachcomber was so that I could have toys of these Transformers characters that were all the same size as each other, so really happy to have Beachcomber in hand now. Now, my pick for number 1 may surprise a lot of people, but out of all the Transformers toys I got, this is the one that I've gotten the most enjoyment out of owning. And my pick for the number 1 most favorite Transformers toys that I purchased this year in 2017, it's a tie between 2 Transformers toys that are mold mates with each other, but my most favorite Transformers toy that I purchased this year throughout the entire year of 2017 is a tie between Titans Return Deluxe Class Top Spin and Twin Twist. So yes, Top Spin and Twin Twist take the number 1 spot of being my personal favorite Transformers toys purchased throughout this entire year of 2017. And so here they are standing in front of their boxes, and they are pretty amazing. I am glad that Hasbro decided for these new modern versions of Top Spin and Twin Twist to drop the gimmick that their G1 toys had of being jump starters in favor of giving them regular transformations, because it allows them to transform into fully articulated robots. And even though they are headmasters, they are both pretty amazing toys. And even though their vehicles are science fictional, they are pretty unique looking, and they're distinct enough that you can tell, at least with Top Spin right away, you can tell Top Spin is a science fictional jet, and with Twin Twist you can tell by the drills here that he's a science fictional drilling machine, even though he's a drill tank. But yes, out of all the deluxe class toys released in the Titans Return toy line, Top Spin and Twin Twist are the physically largest of the deluxe class toys in Titans Return, and I love having both of them. I do not recommend getting either one without the other one. If you can, save up enough money to get both of these Transformers toys, because I believe within continuity, Top Spin and Twin Twist are in fact twin brothers, which is why they look near identical and why they have reverse paint jobs compared to each other. But yes, these guys have been my favorite for this year. Now, setting Top Spin and Twin Twist aside, they are not the last Transformers toys I will be showing off in this video. Oh no. For the number 1 half spot, 0.5, we have Titans Return Deluxe Class Hot Rod. And a lot of Transformers fans have said that out of all the toys of both Hot Rod and also Rodimus Prime, the Titans Return Deluxe Class version of Hot Rod remains one of the very best toys of the character to ever be released. So if you can get Titans Return Hot Rod, then get him. Add him to your Transformers collection. Because even though he's a headmaster, this toy of Hot Rod is pretty unique in its own right. And to finally end the video, I will show some Transformers. Well, actually, no, they're not Transformers, but... And because, actually, they're not Transformers, to end the video, I will show you 2 robot-to-vehicle toys I purchased this year that are not Transformers characters in any way whatsoever. So, for the number 0 spot, and I will show off 2 toys that I purchased this year that are not Transformers characters and have never once been Transformers characters. So, to end the video for the number 0 spot, here are some robot-to-vehicle toys I purchased that are not Transformers characters. We have Action Toys, Machine Robos, Bike Robo, and Eagle Robo. And I did take them out of their box. I did transform them from robot mode to vehicle mode, but just to have some fun ending the video for the number 0 spot. His missile just fell off and landed on the keypad. But yes, just to end the video for the number 0 spot of my favorite Transformers toys purchased this year, we have 2 robot-to-vehicle toys that are not Transformers characters. These are Bike Robo and Eagle Robo from the Machine Robo series, and they were released in the toy line of Machine Robos toys released by Action Toys. Now, I don't know if Action Toys is a third-party company that produces other Transformers toys, but a lot of Transformers fans have been buying up the Machine Robo toys released in this line because instead of being based on Transformers, they're based on GoBots characters, and Bike Robo is based on Psykill, the leader of the bad guy GoBots, and then Eagle Robo is based on Leader 1, the good guy, leader of the good eye of the GoBots. But so yes, even though this guy is mostly red and blue and this guy is mostly silver and dark gray, this guy is the GoBots equivalent of Megatron, and this guy is the GoBots equivalent of Optimus Prime. So yes, just to end the video for number 0, it's the 2 robot-to-vehicle toys I purchased this year that are not Transformers characters. It is Action Toys, Bike Robo, and Eagle Robo, aka the GoBots characters of Psykill and Leader 1. And yes, a shout out to the GoBots. I did watch the GoBots cartoon earlier this year, which is why I purchased these 2 guys up. But yeah, let me know if you conclude a number 0 spot on your list or not. So, with that said, this has been the TF Geek. Geek 2017 was, for me, a fantastic year to buy Transformers toys, and I'm hoping next year in 2018 I'll be able to buy more. And let me know in the comments section if you agree with my pick for number 1 being Titans Return, Top Spin and Twin Twist, or if you prefer another Transformers toy to take the number 1 spot. So once again, this has been the TF Geek. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.